This is not a deadly weapon. This is a person, an angry person who wants you to answer the question, are you bringing Mensa here? Hello and welcome back to the couch. We saved you a seat. My name is Luke and today we're checking out chapter 4 of Exit Strategy. Yes, you clicked on the video. We do chapter by chapter reactions for books. This is the 4th book in the Murderbot Diaries series. If you'd like to follow along, we got a link in the description to Amazon. You can buy the book, follow along, join the discussion in the comments. If you want to join the membership, you can also support the channel that way. It's $2 a month. It'll help me buy a cup of coffee, a power bar, whatever to keep me afloat. But here, we're going to jump right into it. Yeah, so is GrayCris wrong? Was that person an informant? The person. You know. I mean, the guy. The GrayCris guy. Did he know? He blamed them. He thought it was them. What's the deal with GrayCris? I feel like that guy was being honest. It's an interesting thought here. Kind of puzzling to go through. See, we've got the entire narrative of the story where Murderbot is working through the detective aspect, the troubleshooting aspect, a lot of the different issues that are going along, but never once, not one time in the last 3.5 books, did Murderbot think that maybe there was dissension among GrayCris, right? All that person knew is that, or thought they knew, was that Preservation, Mensa, sent a rogue sec unit, or a sec unit, not even a rogue sec unit, a sec unit that they had purchased. Remember, they purchased after the first book, and they had sent it to Milieu to try to dig up dirt on GrayCris. That's all that person knew, supposedly. I didn't think of that. Did you? Murderbot sure as hell didn't think of that. What an interesting plot twist. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Maybe there's dissension among GrayCris. Maybe there's dissension among all of them. Who knows? Who knows? I love the idea, the visual representation of Murderbot holding this dude thing, it, against the wall, threatening it so harshly while these other 3 scientists are kind of barking at it. And it's like, Murderbot is like, I gotta turn off the feeds. I gotta do this. I gotta do this before we don't get caught. I gotta do this before we don't get caught, before we don't get caught, before we don't get caught. Right? And then at the end there, Murderbot's like, I gotta go. Not gonna be in contact. See ya. And just takes off to go find Mensa because of the implant. What an ending. Y'all write in the comments to say it's about to get action-packed. It feels like we're having a car chase, right? This feels like whatever a car chase would be in this world at this time. The sec unit probably runs at like 45 miles an hour full speed. We kind of tried to figure that out before when it was on in the second book. But yeah, it's just full-on ordeal. This guy now knows this sec unit has no governor module. More things, components of the story are beginning to know that this is a sec unit, doesn't have a governor module, and is choosing not to kill people. Interesting. Even the guy said, he said, yeah, if it was a rogue sec unit, they would leave like behind a bunch of bodies. It's like, would it? Would it? Or you've been watching too much TV? We focus a lot on the last 5 or 6 pages here in the first few minutes of this reaction. There is a lot that happens in the prior part. The first half of this chapter takes place, and we've got Murderbot speaking with Pinley and Grathrin and Ratty, and they're having a full conversation about what they should do. And Murderbot finally caves to the human plan, sort of, and Murderbot's like, God damn it. And then goes down to the lobby and starts assessing issues. Grathrin does what Grathrin does, it's kind of growing on me. It seems to not be growing on Murderbot, which is interesting. But Grathrin does what Grathrin does, and is asking Murderbot, being inquisitive, like, where were you? What were you doing? And Murderbot just hits it with the sass, which we love. Penley continues to be my favorite human in these last 3 books. Mensa's my favorite human in all of them, but Penley is my favorite in this one. Be interesting to see what's happening here. I will say there could be with the Illuminati thing is reigning super true for me, right? Because what if there's something about Minso that we don't know, right? Minso up to this point has been led to be this socially good, socially just, treating everything, every construct, every bot equally, is very empathetic and conscious aware of those things around it. But did Mensa get bought off? Huh? Did Mensa have is somebody else paying Mensa to sabotage GrayCris? Really? All we do in the very first book of the very first chapter is we're on a random planet when Sec Unit saves these 2 humans. That's all we are. We don't know how Sec Unit ended up there. Did Mensa figure out how to get? Maybe. That'd be pretty cool. If Mensa was kind of this evil mastermind to get at the greedy corporate fat cats and is being hired by another team to do all this other stuff, right? We don't know. GrayCris could be right in some regard. I think that would actually make the story kind of interesting, as if the motives GrayCris has aren't all that unjust. There's some justification for it. That'd be cool. Don't think that's the case. Every single one of these stories has been relatively straightforward, and with intention, of course. We still have those polarizing sides. You have the good guys who are socially conscious and treat everyone equally, and it's free will, free love, very 60s, very 60s England feel, hippies. And then you've got this other side, which is greedy corporate fat cats who will literally kill you for one small leg up. Sabotage, indentured servitude is an issue here, and they actually treat humans just as low as bots if they are less valuable in terms of the work they could do or what their capacity is for production. It's very interesting that you have this polarization, and then you've got Murderbot who's sitting in the middle, who's like, I don't want to work for you, and I definitely don't want to kill people, and I might have to, and I'm okay with that. I love Murderbot's attitude toward our group at the beginning here. Specifically, the fact that it's so different from the attitude that Murderbot had in the initial book. Murderbot's just telling him like it is. Being very forward. I am a security unit. This is who I am. The personality is showing a lot. And you can kind of see the, what do we call it? Wisdom? No. Institutional knowledge. Institutional knowledge that comes from what Murderbot has already perceived and already put forward. And it means socially, collectively, spiritually, thoughtfully. And how it communicates with those who know it. It's forward. It's interesting. It's interested. I love the Murderbot running into the scene and pinning this dude against the wall and pushing his thing down. I love how Murderbot looks around the lobby and it was like, well, they're obviously not regular people. They're obviously not regular people. They're not obviously regular people. They're probably GrayCris. Does a pretty good job at that. And the two, like I said, in all of the blunder that was the beginning of this conflict, Murderbot forgot to shut down the feeds and then shut them all down. And then it's like, oh no, I've got to turn them back on. While all of this arguing is happening between Penley and this dude. I love that this dude called Murderbot a weapon. Or called it a weapon. That's perfect. That's perfect. That level of fear should be there, for sure. It makes Murderbot a more compelling character. Right? Because that weapon refused to kill you for information. But it wasn't information for money. It was information for lives. right? The exchange wasn't for currency. And that's a human thing. That's not a Murderbot thing. It's interesting that Murderbot has so much more empathy than a lot of the humans. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I think the next chapter, chapter 5, is just essentially a car chase. We're going to see Murderbot running around, trying to chase down Mensa, trying to get to Mensa. I don't know how many more chapters are left. I'm going to pause. I'm going to jump to that. Yeah, so there are 8 chapters, so we're about halfway there, living on a prayer. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. The rest of the book's just going to be action-packed. We'll see. But no, I think that's all I've got for you. We're going to be moving on to the next book series after this. Book 5, book 6 probably. I think someone said in the comments before, got to do 6 before 5. I'm not sure yet. But also, I might be getting with a friend of mine. We'll see, to be doing this. And she and I will be commenting on this book, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I don't know what it's about. She said it would be hilarious if we did it together. She kind of liked what I was doing on YouTube, and she loves these kinds of novels. So I have the kind of character. She's a hilarious human being. And so I might be putting something on the couch where we do a similar thing for this book. So if you like this kind of content, maybe check it out. Maybe a couple of weeks. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, if you like this content, please like and subscribe and share. Also, if you want to join the membership, do that. Join the membership. It'll help us out a great deal. But until next time, later, taters.